So the runner's walking a little bit closer to the tape now, and the starter raises the flag. In they come, and they're off. The 10th running of the Grade 1 Betfair Chase, this £200,000 prize. And they make their way on the long run to the first of 18 fences, and Q Card goes into an early lead under Daryl Jacob to the giant bolster on the outer of Harry Topper. Silviniaco Conti, pink jacket, slotting into 4th place early on with a pair of greys in behind, Medami on the inner of Dinast. Takanda Searle, red and green socks of Barry Geraghty out wide, and then Double Ross and Manora looks on from the back of the field as they prepare to rise at the first, with Q Card and the giant bolster together, and Silviniaco Conti going handy, and a slight error from Manora in last place. So on to the second they go. Q Card, the giant bolster, Silviniaco Conti, Harry Topper jumping well on the near side, far side Takanda Searle, and then Dinast, followed by Medami and Double Ross, and Manora held up by Richard Johnson. Midway down the back straight for the first time, and all jumping soundly out over the third. So Q Card and Daryl Jacob with a slender advantage to the giant bolster in the hands of 23-year-old Tom Cannon, having his first ride in the race. Silviniaco Conti and Noel Fehily, pink jacket, disputing third with a nose-banded Harry Topper around the inner, Jason Maguire aboard. And Takanda Searle and Dinast from Medami, Manora and Double Ross as they take the first of the ditches, and that completes the jumping in the back straight for the first time. So Q Card bearing left-handed up ahead of the giant bolster, who's gone with a degree more zest through the early part of the race than was the case at Wetherby last time. Harry Topper is just third from Silviniaco Conti, then Takanda Searle from Medami. Dinast under a waiting ride from Tom Scudamore with a couple behind, and their Double Ross, Ham Twiston Davis in the red and white on the outer of Richard Johnson aboard Manora. Straightening for a line of 4 now, and Q Card approaching fence 6 up ahead of the giant bolster. Q Card jumping well. Slight mistake from Takanda Searle, who seemed to get in quite deep to that. And now the second of the ditches. Q Card, the giant bolster. Silviniaco Conti, Takanda Searle on the extreme left, Harry Topper on the right, rising. And again a good leap from Q Card. He was quick through the air. Dinast still waited with behind Medami, and Manora held up with Double Ross, closing in on fence 8. Q Card from the giant bolster, then Silviniaco Conti, Takanda Searle working across to Dinast and Medami in the centre, and Harry Topper and Manora on the far side, and then Double Ross, and here is fence 9. Brings them to halfway, and Q Card jumping boldly. An advantage of over a length, and the giant bolster had to be scrubbed away from the landing side, and there would be some 8 to 10 lengths first to last, and Harry Topper has to have a little pressure applied as they head under the judge. A circuit to travel in the Betfair Chase, and Q Card has made every inch of the running thus far, rounds the paddock turn in front, with Silviniaco Conti now up into second ahead of the giant bolster. Takanda Searle close up in 4th, then the greys, Dinast wide of Medami, Harry Topper drifting back through the field, still being chivied along by Maguire, and Double Ross and Manora remain the final pair. Off to the first of the 5 fences in the back straight, and Q Card with ears flicking backwards and forwards, perhaps having a little bit of a look around him, leading from Silviniaco Conti. Takanda Searle poised on the far side. Then the giant bolster, Dinast getting closer, and Q Card was low there. Dinast jumped his way up into 4th, and Takanda Searle was briefly chased along. And on to fence 11 they go, and Silviniaco Conti is applying some pressure to Q Card, who was in a little bit close to that one. Medami jumped up well. Takanda Searle under pressure once more, and the giant bolster coming back to rejoin the leading line. Heading for the last mile of the race, they go towards the 12th. Q Card again out jumped by Silviniaco Conti. Harry Topper drops back to the tail of the field. Manora in the shades of blue making progress within 3 lengths of the lead, and it's Q Card and Jacob and Silviniaco Conti and Fehily as they take the next. The giant bolster just a half length away under Tom Cannon. Then Manora, Dinast, Medami, Takanda Searle still being chased along, has become a little outpaced. Then Double Ross and Harry Topper, and Q Card was big and bold there alongside Silviniaco Conti over the ditch. Takanda Searle meanwhile is being pulled up sharply and is out of the race. He was struggling at the time. So leaving the back straight, They've got 4 more left to jump. Silviniaco Conti on the outer of Q Card. The Giant Bolster coming under heavy pressure. Dynasty's easing into it, about 4 lengths off the lead. Menora now shaken up on the inner of Medami, and they've dropped Double Ross. Heads turn for home, and it's Q Card and Silviniaco Conti locked together as they draw towards 4 out. The Giant Bolster rallying under pressure. And then Dynast. Menora coming back on the bridle, easing into it. 4 out. Big leap from Silviniaco Conti. Moves on from Q Card. Here's Menora now delivered on the far side. Fehily, though, asks for a little more from Silviniaco Conti, and he powers on into a 4-length lead from Menora. The last ditch. Silviniaco Conti. Menora chasing. Q Card back in third. Then Dynast, the Giant Bolster, and Medami. And now Fehily crouches low on Silviniaco Conti. Menora's looking menacing. Here's 2 out. Little to separate them. Menora on the right. Silviniaco Conti on the near side. 2 warriors of the winter game locked in mortal combat as they approach the last. Silviniaco Conti and Menora. No quarter given, none asked. Silviniaco Conti back in front at the last. Menora digging in gamely for pressure. Silviniaco Conti's stamina now beginning to kick in, and he starts to stretch away from a game Menora, and the road to gold starts here as Silviniaco Conti lands a second Betfair Chase, and it's 6 for Paul Nicholls. Menora is second, Dynast third, and Q Card, last year's hero, back in 4th.
First, number 7, Silviniaco Conti. Second, number 6. Third, number 3. And fourth, number 1. The 4